Welcome to another bite-sized learning of Terraform. Today we're going to be looking at Terraform pre- and post-condition evaluations. In the previous video we looked at variable validation blocks where you can define a validation condition inside a variable. There's both a condition and an error message. This is a very similar function where you can define either precondition or postconditions under a resource or data source lifecycle block. I'm not going to be covering lifecycle blocks in this particular video. Just understand that every data or resource source can have a lifecycle block, and inside of there you can define as many precondition or postconditions as you want. They function exactly the same way as variable validation blocks, where you supply both a condition and an error message. The error message is served when the condition evaluates false. Inside the condition, the difference between this and a variable validation is that you can evaluate really anything that you want. Precondition happens before the resource or data source is created, and then postcondition is evaluated after the fact. So depending what you're trying to check, you can leverage preconditions, postconditions, or both together. It's really up to you and your specific need. I laid out a really basic precondition example here where I have a min number and a max number, and then I generate a random integer from those values, and I have a precondition evaluation that I want to check before I create things to ensure that the max number is in fact greater than the minimum number. I have run this example earlier, and I'll show you the input for it. So when I ran a plan, because I don't have defaults for either of these variables, I have to supply the values for the max number and the min number. I supplied the value of 1 to each of them, and you'll see that it says error, resource precondition failed. It shows the values of those variables, and then it shows the error message that I served up. 1 is not greater than 1. The condition evaluates false, and it serves up the message that, hey, the max number must be greater than the minimum number. This feature was released in Terraform 1.2.0 as an enhancement because people had validation blocks, and that's great, but it doesn't allow for conditions where you have multiple dependencies like a min and a max. I can't check that the max number is greater than the min number in the variable block because when you're doing validation conditions against variables, you can't reference other variables outside of the variable the condition block is for. So this was a much needed feature that was released in Terraform 1.2. You should use it. It's great because it prevents your Terraform from potentially getting into bad states or invalid states, and it lets you have a little more fine-tuned control over how your resources and data sources function. If you enjoyed this video, please give a like and subscribe, and we'll be back with more Terraform content in the very near future. Have a great day.